No, this is not a dream. You're in the world of Inside Speaks. We're inspiring you to find happiness in your world. Guess what? We outside with it. We like to hammock camp, bike, as well as rook. That's right. I'm an Army veteran. I served 2 tours, man, with some great individuals, man. We had our ups, we had our downs, just like you go through in life. But I tell you what, I'm going to share some of them stories with you on this channel. What's going on, guys, man? Welcome back to Inside Speaks, Military Veteran Point of View. As I told you guys, we're going to add a little more energy to this show. We're going to be talking about all the myths that y'all got about the military. At the same time, today, Monday, we are going to be talking about barracks life and a couple of laughs. I'm going to share a few stories. So, you guys get ready. So more content on the way. Let's talk about some of this barracks life and what the movies lied to you guys about. Trust me, I got some myths to break, and we got some stories to share. Roll that footage. No, this is not a dream. You're in the world of Inside Speaks. We're inspiring you to find happiness in your world. Guess what? We outside with it. We like to hammock camp, bike, as well as rook. That's right. I'm an Army veteran. I served 2 tours, man, with some great individuals, man. We had our ups, we had our downs, just like you go through in life. But I tell you what, I'm going to share some of them stories with you on this channel. What's going on, guys, man? Welcome back to Inside Speaks, Military Veteran Point of View. And you know what we're here to do, man. We're about to have a good show, about the great show. It's a new week, man. We got new things going on. I am tired. But I don't use being tired as an excuse not to keep this show rolling. I'm committed, I'm determined, and I got a brand new week ready for you guys to get it in with your boy. That's right. Let's get it, man. This is what we got coming up this week, man. I am super excited about this one. We're going to laugh. I know we've been getting serious, dropping these bugs. We've been going over things. I've been having my moments on here, but it's all good. It's all good, man. So this is what we got coming up for this week. And if you haven't already, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Don't worry, you're going to get to see my beautiful face here in a second. I am just wanted to get right into this, man, because we got a full-on week. A full-on week. Yeah. I told y'all I was going to work on that audio, right? I did say it. Y'all just wasn't listening to me. That's right, man. Monday, which is today, we're going to talk about barracks life. I'm going to have a laugh when the jokes can go too far. This Tuesday coming up, we're going to talk about hurry up and wait, the worst thing ever. And I'll explain that tomorrow. That's going to be a good one too, right? Hump day, Wednesday, PT gone wrong, the ABCs to PT. We're going to break that all the way down. Thursday, military myths exposed, which this whole week is about exposing military goddamn movies that y'all be watching. And military movies, man, be giving y'all the the heebie-jeebies, huh? Some of the things they be doing, they be lying to you, you know what I mean? Movies that lie to you, that's right. We're going to talk about that, man. Y'all going to have to excuse me today, man. I am running on about 10%, but it's all right. We're still going to get some energy up. I got endless energy. Battery may be exalted, but I've got the energy to continue to go forward, right? With that being said, Friday, Weekend Warrior Tales. You don't know what a Weekend Warrior Tale is? I will explain that to you, man. What did you do for fun while you was in the military? You guys going to hear some stories today. I got a few that I'm going to share. I'm excited about everything that's going on. With that being said, right? With that being said, I know that a lot of us are having moments in life to where we might need to question some things. And I do. I got to question a few things. I know. I'm already on a few things, and I actually gonna read two blogs today. Angel just sent me a new blog, and actually I already had one queued up, and I'm already ready for it. I'm ready for it. What to say? I'm ready for the smoke. I'm ready for the smoke, and I'm just getting the vibe and the feel for what if I did just pure audio. What if I did pure audio, right? What if I just said, you know what? I'm just gonna run audio all day. Cause I was looking on that EPK kit and it's like, yo, there's an audio section on there. There's no audio. I don't like it. We need some video too. I'm gonna keep the videos rolling, y'all, but I might just have some audio specials where you guys can go listen in on those and make that type of jazz happen, man. It's a great day. I was reading over some of the dreamscapes that I read org. Y'all can go check that out. Dreamscapesreads.org. You can check that out. I'm gonna read over this right here, right? Because what happens when all the digital world is cut off? We get a taste of that while I was in basic, and I'm gonna talk about that, right? Then we'll get into some other things and other blogs, but I'm excited for what's going on this week. I hope you guys are too. With that being said, if you haven't already, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Got some things I'm gonna share. I got some messages yesterday. Here are some videos you guys can check out as well. I got my little water rolling right now. Today I just been off. I've been off today. I've been off, not off in life, but just off. Just been off, right? But we're gonna get back in line. You know what I mean? We're gonna get back in tune and rocking out. But I appreciate everybody that was tapping in, man. I appreciate everybody that's tapping in. If you haven't already, make sure you tap in with these shows right here. Routine builds confidence. Veteran business must knows discipline over motivation. That's right, man. We rocking out now. I got to take a little swiggy swig, bro, because I need energy. These are like electrolytes, right? These are just like salt and lemon and water. Y'all should know the recipe. You can go ahead and have your own. That's right. You can have your own. Get used to it because I'm going to be using these sounds. It took me a long time to figure out how to get this thing going. Anyways, I told you I was going to bring some more energy. I'm going to keep the openings kind of short now instead of having them so long. And I use some of the long ones for the specials for the EPK. Y'all can check out some of those little mini runs, little mini movies, 10-minute movies I'll be working on for you guys to check out. But how is your day going? How is your day going, man? I'm going to paint the picture for you guys today. I am, man. Woo! Now, before we even go any further, what I need you guys to do for yourselves is pat yourselves on the back because we have officially been running this thing for almost a month and some change straight. No days skipped. Now, I've had some pre-shows put in there, but it still counts. It still counts, man. I almost thought about doing that today, but it was like, nah, we're going to start this week off right. So with that being said, and what we're going to get into, we're going to tap into the blogs at the same time. We're going to share some of the events coming up, i.e. BOW. Trapping Inc. August. Back to school event. It's the Back to School Bash, man. August 8th. You're 5 days away from this enlightening experience. That's right, man. Backpacks, food, gifts. You can even get you some tattoos. Make sure you guys tap in from noon to 5 August 8th. It'll be at the Trapping Inc. location. All you gotta do is tap in trappinginc.com. You'll be able to find it, man. You'll be able to find all the information you need, as well as you can screenshot this right here and grab it yourself. If you would like to flyer yourself, I will send it to you personally. So for everybody that's in the DFW area, I will tell you to take advantage of this and tap in and get your kids some school supplies for the low. With that being said, there's another back to school event going on. That's right, back to school party, content day. And anytime you hear me say anything about content day, it's what you want to tap in, especially if you're in the social media world. Who's who is going to be in there running content. And most people that are in there, they got photographers, they got videographers, cinematographers. Those two are different. You got videographers, you got cinematographers. Cinematographers do full features, and you got people that make content. With that being said, take advantage of it, man. They do not charge you anything for these pictures and all this type of stuff. So you get as many pictures and all this stuff for free. You know what I mean? And if you want your own specialized thing, you could tap in and do that. So big shout out to Yoshi Baby. Big shout out to everybody that part of the content creator World as well as Content Day. I've been to a few and I had a blast, man. Big shout out to SemiQuest, bro's been out there pumping and pushing, man. Normally, back in the day, I was out there with him all the time, but now bro's out there making that thing happen, and it makes me feel good that he gets a taste of the world I was in. Anyways, man, with that being said, we're going to get into this blog, and then we are also going to do a few other things that I'm going to share. But I'm excited to share a couple of these stories, man. I'm not here to get anybody in any trouble. Any of these stories that I share online, listen, this is past conversations. These are past events. These are past moments that we did when we were younger. So for the guys and gals out there that are married, locked in with somebody else, if I per se share a story out here, make sure there is no pots, pans, or knives around for you to get decapitated with or banged across the head. It was before whoever you was with time. Now, if you was with that person while we was in basic doing things, I don't know what to tell you. This is a survivor's channel, and you got to find your way to survive. All right, with that being said, man, I want to get into this right here. Now, this blog right here is on the Dreamscapes Read, right? And I'm going to make this thing big. And y'all know, as I always do, I share it with you guys so you guys can see. Bow right there. All right. What happens when we turn off the digital noise? Why would I read this blog? Why would you read this blog first? Well, I'm going to tell you why. While I was in basic, we didn't have no digital nothing. So we had a lot of thoughts running through our heads, and we're gonna go ahead and read a little bit of this blog, right? This is from Miss Williams. Once again, I'm always reading her blogs. If y'all don't know, and for you guys that are new to this channel, I like to read blogs. I like to read. Some of y'all don't read, right? I'm not the best reader, but I like to read, right? Take a moment to honestly consider how many times a day you reach for your phone or open a tab without even realizing you're doing it. We check the news while waiting 3 minutes in a drive-through line. We scroll through social media feeds during brief pause in our work. We play background podcasts or TV shows while cooking dinner. As a society, we have become Angel popped in here and gave me some snacks and things. I really don't need this energy drink, but I need it, y'all. I am running on E right now, and I'll hydrate later. We play background podcasts or TV shows while cooking dinner. As a society, we have become almost comfortable with silence, filling every micro moment of quiet with digital input. This is right. She's actually wrote this book, right? Writing Surviving the Silence Echoes of a Digital Age. Now, this book is basically covering what we're talking about right here in this blog. Forced me to take a hard look at how much sensory overload we process daily and what that constant noise cost our personal lives and our families. When we constantly outsource our attention to electronic screens, we inadvertently lose the quiet, unscripted moments where real human connection takes root. The spontaneous bedtime conversations that happen only when the room is dark and quiet. The silly, imaginative stories made up on the spot during a car ride without screens playing in the back seat. The quiet, focused observation of a child quietly figuring out a difficult puzzle all on their own. We know we be championing our kids when they be able to figure out things, right? I am certainly not anti-technology. After all, a video game console was the exact bridge that helped my son Tanner find his voice and express his creativity. That's just a fact. But I do believe we desperately need intentional, quiet spaces tonight. Try turning off the background noise in your home for just 30 minutes. Sit in the quiet, read a physical book, listen to your children talk. You might be surprised by the beautiful things you hear when the rest of the world stops buzzing. With love, the Russell Angel Williams. Now, y'all may be wondering, why would you read that blog? Because it ties in to what I had to experience while going to basic training. Yeah. There was no phones. The phones was taken right when you got off the bus. Phones was taken. All access to the outside world was cut off. I went to a basic called Fort Benning, Georgia. Yeah, Fort Benning, Georgia. That's where I was at. And when I say it was a joyous hellhole, I say that with all intense purposes, no holding back on that. Just got to think about that. Reading that blog, right? And think about all the stuff, even watching me right now, right? There was no access to computers. There was no access to phones. Hell, we was writing letters. And then sometimes we didn't have time to write letters because we were constantly training, doing something, right? So I come from the BDU time of basic training. Now, that was when you still had your jungle boots, still had to shine your boots and things like that. And now things have changed. But the image that I show you guys right here, where I say barracks, life, and laughs, that right there, that was literally how our basics was set up. Now, I will say this. In that picture, that bed right behind that last bed, that is not a 45-degree angle. But it was just a great way to give y'all at least an general idea of what I am referring to when I talk about living in the barracks. Now can I put this and tie this in for civilians and people that's never lived in a barracks? Okay, so you have ever had to live with a roommate, right? And a roommate, you may be the clean one and the other one may not be really clean. They might not have really no home training, lack of home training, no kind of discipline. They throw stuff everywhere, stuff just be dirty, right? Imagine living with 49 other individuals just like that, all in one confined space. Yeah. That's about the best way I can describe that. Now, you get to learn a lot about yourself and others and the way they was brought up and the way you was brought up. There's a lot of differences. Now, with that being said, before I even got to base, you gotta understand, I never left Texas ever. Never left Texas. I really don't include the Louisiana, man. We went like to Shreveport and like Logansport, you know what I mean? But really right on the Texas border, right? So never really went anywhere outside of the southern spectrum, right? Until I joined the military. And once I joined the military, I got a rude awakening that everybody is not raised the same. Everybody don't believe in the same things. And damn sure everybody don't eat the same way. Referring to that blog and how people navigate with the phones, and at this time I believe Nokia was like the hot thing. I think the game Snake was the hot thing. You had the brick phones then, and then they was just transitioning into like the Razor phone, because I think I got the first Razor phone when I got when I got to my first AIT, and it was the flip phones then. I don't know. Do they even got flip phones anymore? But yeah, it was like the Razor phone, and we had like no connection to really any technology for the first few weeks. I got to do 2 calls. First call was, "Hey, I'm in basic." And that was a quick call. Salon, "Hey, hang up." Then the next call I got was right the week before graduation. "Hey, I'm graduating. Y'all gonna come down, come check me out. If y'all can make it down, cool." And my mom and the old man came down, and they made that trip. That's a story within itself. And they made the trip, right? So you gotta think. She's talking about no digital space for 30 minutes, right? At the end of that blog. You got to think about no internet, no connection with the outside, no, nothing going on. And the only way you did hear anything about anything outside of those barracks rooms, right? Only way you heard anything about outside the barracks rooms if you was a religious individual. And everybody know on Sundays, that was the only time you was able to escape out, and I use the word escape, right, able to escape out and go to like all little religious services. Man, people claiming all type of religion, so they ain't have to be there. And you'll get to run into other individuals that may be actually stationed there, and they may have their phones, or they may have some type of digital thing they got on them. At the time, I think it was Blackberries, little Blackberry with the palm pin joint. You know what I mean? So you'll get to may see those, right? But there was no connection, so you didn't know what was going on in celebrity world. You didn't know what was going on with the news. Hell, you didn't know what was going on back home, unless you may have gotten a letter and you read something that was going on. And normally, most of the times, the letters was about the bad things that was going on. Well, this is what's going on at home. No, you can't do anything about it, but just want to let you know your house just got sold. Or people got all type of letters, right? But the funny thing is, when you take away all the digital stuff, when you take away those things, you literally don't realize how much more time you got during the day, right? Now, we up early in the morning, training, all the way through the night. And by the time you do make it back to the barracks, you're so tired, you probably wouldn't even want to mess with no phones or anything like that anyway, right? Depending on what basic training you went to. But as I show this picture again, let me go ahead and show this. Then we're going to get into, I know we want to hear some funny stories. We are going to show some funny stories. But let me go ahead and show this picture again. All right. So earlier I said, man, that cot that's back there is not a 45 degree angle, right? That is the angles that your sheets had to be folded. Everything had to be dressed. What that means is everything needed to match the bunk next to you. Everything was the same. Kind of like how some of you kids go to schools that have the uniforms, right? And every uniform has to match. Has to be a certain color blue, has to be a certain color white, and has to be a certain thing. If it's a female, it has to be a certain thing to do, right? So it doesn't really make anybody feel like they're better than anybody else. Everybody's on the same playing field. You don't know who got what and don't got what unless you look at the person's shoes. And other than that, everybody got the same thing. So I get the idea behind that. But at the same time, as I learned going through basic and living in a barracks area, that when it comes to sharing spaces with everybody don't work the same. Do you not realize that individuals will do anything and everything to make their little space a little different from everybody else's, right? But that would always get us in trouble. Now, I got some points we're going to talk about, right? We're going to talk about some of the wild roommate stories. Yep. We're going to talk about some of those. We're going to talk about who stole my food, the mysteries. Yeah, people do steal food in the basics. Yes, they do. And the field day disasters. Now, we're going to transition from basic to AIT when we get into these. And then the art of avoiding CQ. Now, if you don't know CQ, you're basically pulling security over. You're basically pulling security all night over while everybody's going to sleep. You up and you're making sure everybody's safe, right? Quote unquote safe. You know what I mean? So we're gonna go over those things. And first, we're gonna start with some of the wild roommate stories. So right now, I gave y'all a little idea what basic was like. Well, as you're going through basic, right, you gotta start to go to your school when you graduate basic. When you graduate basic, you go to a thing called AIT. This is where you learn how to do the job that you signed up to do, right? I was stationed at a place called Fort Leavenworth. It's where not Leavenworth, not the prison. Linderwood, right? And at first I was at Fort Gordon, 425U, 25 uniform, running cables, right? And I got in a little trouble, couple of hiccups, and I got transitioned to an 88 mic. So I got stationed at Linderwood. At Linderwood, right? There is a big disconnect when it comes to people that are not from the same cities. You don't carry yourself the same way. You don't talk the same. And it's a real mind screw up. It's a real mind jack up, man, because you expect things to be a certain way, especially me. especially me, I had a hard time. Yeah, I had a hard time accepting that everybody didn't wasn't raised the same way. In a certain way people talk, like people from up north would always use this, especially from Chicago, they'll be like, son, right? And I got in some trouble with that. Dude called me son. The only person I ever allowed to call me son was my old man, all right? I took things like that as a form of disrespect. Funny moment, wild stories, right? I ended up getting into it with an individual. Yeah. I had a little attitude then. Got into it with an individual because of that. Those moments right there, right? Moments like that, right? Dude, he was really, no, yeah, everybody get to joking around, having fun, you know what I mean? We in the field, we training, doing what we doing, get out the field, everybody go back to the barracks, go ahead, clean up and get some rest, right? Yeah, you start talking to everybody and you really just starting to really lock in with meet with people and you really telling people what base you went to and giving your synopsis of how you was back home and all this type of jazz. Man, individual talking to me, man. This dude's talking to me and the term and it is my fault, y'all. I just took it the wrong way. He's man, Shaw, man, I be sonning these dudes out here, bro. Man, you a son to me. Not a big dude, he ain't small, bigger dude. Man, you a son to me. And you gotta think, okay? In my mind, still a new soldier, just getting a taste of the military life. All I know is really basic so far, so everything is rough. And, respect is earned, not given. So when you don't want anybody playing with you, when you're not really knowledgeable or well versed in how the military works, the first thing you think of is physical altercation. I'm finna show you I'm not him. I'm finna show you that I'm not that guy that's just gonna let you talk to me no type of way. My fault is that I didn't understand that everybody didn't talk the same way. Everybody didn't think the same way. People talk differently. Like when you meet people from New York, they got this thing about themselves, like everybody's beneath them. And you get somebody that's Southern, and we taught Southern hospitality first. It really don't mix well. It's always some type of conflict. And I was normally the one enhancing the conflict because you don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be that one guy or girl we're watching. You don't want to be that one as the food on the table. You don't want to be the one being picked on. You don't want to always being put on the quote unquote shit details. So you gotta let people know off rip, hey man, don't play with me. I'm from Texas, bro. I don't know nothing about how y'all talking. Oh, damn, all that. That's the type of energy I was on, right? I was wrong, but it's the type of energy I'm on. As I started to learn and get locked in with more individuals, like, okay, bro, so it ain't just me. Everybody feels this way. Everybody from wherever they from, whatever side of the city from where they from, whatever side of the United States they from. Even some other people from overseas that came actually serve too. But all these different individuals had their own way they was growing up. And then a lot of us got a base and we still got a chip over our shoulder that we got to prove to people like we are not, hey, y'all ain't no drill sergeants. Y'all not finna do me no type of way. Damn all that. And that's kind of attitude I had. And it got me in a lot of trouble. Had a small man syndrome. It was just like, you not finna play with me. I'm on. Every time there's an incident or a problem, I normally was physical more than talking it out because I didn't want you to get no upper hand on me. I just wasn't going to allow it. You know what I mean? So I was the guy that was constantly causing a lot of problems. It also came to an issue where individuals would blow their little money and people go into your room and take your food. That's right. Thieves. Was you one of them thieves? If I'm watching this live and you was one of them thieves, don't be ashamed. Go ahead and say, yeah, I was out here taking people's food. This stuff actually happens in the military. People just don't steal back home. Negroes steal in the military too. You goddamn right they do. You gotta think, a lot of us didn't have no financial literacy. A lot of us just collecting that first and 15 check, and we blow the check because we know we got another one coming. A lot of us. A lot of us, right? And people wouldn't have anything left. Well, y'all got the DFAT. You just gonna just go to eat. You were still in training. There's certain times we had to go do this. Certain times you have to be back for a certain mission, certain trainings that you had to go do. Right. So when you have to share rooms with individuals that don't keep their stuff clean, you got in a lot of trouble. And then when stuff will come up missing, especially when people leave their weapons around. Yeah, you know that. People will leave weapons around. Yeah. Oh God, y'all just don't understand. People leave weapons around, and once a drill sergeant or a sergeant finds somebody's weapon just laying there unsupervised, you ain't nobody claim the weapon is just sitting there. That causes a storm across the whole company where everybody gets in trouble because you was complacent about not watching your weapon. You would think that people would never misplace their weapons, right? But it happens. It actually happens a lot. It happens a lot. A lot. Not only people steal food, some people take weapons as a game, as a joke. For y'all, that may not be a joke, but for us, it was a joke. There was ways you can get people in trouble. You were smart enough. You was on top of your game. You was physically fit on what you had to do. There was ways you can get people in trouble. You see them over there eating their food. They not paying attention. Walk over there and take their weapon and keep walking off. Place that weapon somewhere where it ain't supposed to be and end up being found by somebody. And you're going to get in trouble anyway because it's going to be a whole formation and everybody finna have to come to formation and explain. And they're going to have that weapon in the air. Whose weapon it is? And nobody going to want to claim the weapon until it get down to where they done smoked us all. And everybody, if you've been watching this show, that word smokes mean you're getting physically disciplined to the point where you're sweating out your pores, right? And somebody will finally come up and announce, hey man, that's my weapon. I had it with me while I was eating. You know what I mean? Somebody must have took it from me. That is not an excuse. Your weapon should be on you at all times, period. You just don't know how far people will go to get people in trouble. That's why I said, once again, some of us will end up taking some of them jokes too far. Right? The first time you get a pass, right, to go out for the weekend, which we will talk about later on this week. First time you get a pass, go out on the weekend, sometimes you realize some people have never had a drink in their life. Some people have never actually got to party and have a good time. Some people have been secluded and locked in their homes so much when they first get the taste of freedom, they wow the hell out. I've seen a few. Jeez, I've seen a few. I know a few. I know a young lady. I'm not gonna put her name out here because the story is still kind of bad, but I'm not gonna put her name out here. But I know a young lady she was so lit, so juiced up on that oil. Man, she ran her car all the way through an apartment complex. Yeah. How do I know? Because I was there. You know what I'm saying? Whole apartment complex. Hell, you know what I mean? Like I said on this show, I'm not just going to get on other people. I'm not just going to be, putting nobody's stuff out there. For those that was there, know what I'm talking about. For those that don't know what I'm talking about, hey, just listen to the story, right? There was moments where I got out there and you got to understand. So when you're constantly getting money coming in, you don't got time to spend it. The bread's just stacking up. It's just stacking up. And they got a place called the Class 6. Class 6 is literally a liquor store on the military post. And you don't got to pay taxes on the drinks, right? Man, we would go into the Class 6 and run it up and get wasted to the point where we are almost reaching alcohol poisoning levels. Some of y'all know. Some of y'all been there with me. Y'all see the message. I'm finna check it out. Some of y'all know. Some of y'all been there with me. Yeah, man. What's good with it, bro? I've had some moments where I got this is why bad when you got anger issues. You got anger issues. You upset about things you ain't kind of dealt with yourself, right? I used to drink a lot, a lot, a lot, lot. Couldn't really smoke. Couldn't really do other things. We weren't supposed to do any of those things. And I had a couple of drinks. As a matter of fact, I had a couple more. As a matter of fact, I had way more than what I was supposed to have numerous of times, right? There's a point where and I'm not even embarrassed about saying this, it needs to be shared for others that are out there really drinking and on that type of tip, right? I drank so much, man. Soldiers had to come get me and throw me in a cold shower. Why would they throw me in a cold shower? One, to cool my eyes down. Two, to get me to snap back to reality, right? I'm guilty, man. I had this whole week. I'm gonna share a whole bunch of these stories, right? Got a bunch of them, right? I'm gonna share some from basic. I'm gonna share some from regular military. I'm gonna share some from AIT, right? And I went to 2 AITs, right? So that'll let you know what type of soldier I was. But yeah, I got so wasted, and this moment I'm talking about, I was at Fort Riley at this time. This was my first time being at Fort Riley. First time actually being a real soldier, where I have no really. When we all got regulations, we all got rules and stuff like that. But you ain't got no drill sergeant over your shoulder telling you what to do, where to go, none of that stuff, right? Man, I got my check. I think it was the second weekend. It was our first time getting they have 3-day week. They got something called 3-day weekends, and or you may not have to do nothing on that Friday. You may get off on a Monday. It varies very rarely, or you may get a half day. You may get an early release, right? I think it was that second week I was out there with Barnes, and because I only knew a few people I was in basic with, and I actually got transitioned to their unit. And when I say, I think the drink at the time, most of those guys was on Jägermeister. Oh gosh, horrible. Jägermeisters, right? This is where you get this little drink, right? And you drop the little cup in. They slamming these things, right? There's a drink called Everclear. It's like drinking gasoline, y'all. It is meant to be mixed. Don't let these people fool you, right? And what happened was, when you say what happened was, there's a beautiful story behind it. There's a lesson behind this story, and there's a funny part of the story. You know what I mean? But what happened was that second weekend, we got to go out and have a good time, right? Because our unit was basically being built up and ready to stand up to go deploy, right? We was a rapid deployment unit, so you really don't gonna have that much time to party anyway. I got a hold of some Everclear, and at the time they will have these things where you can get I would call them an ice box, but we call them, it's a big ass cooler, right? You can get a big cooler, and you can have fruits and all type of stuff in the cooler, right? And you get these bottles, and jungle juice, and then I'm talking about oh God. You are pouring this stuff. Listen. You're pouring not some of the bottle, not half the bottle, 2 or 3 bottles of this stuff in this big ass cooler with ice and all this fruit and all that type of stuff. Now, one thing you'll learn about soldiers, we don't like to quit. We don't like to give up. And when you challenge us, certain ones, we're going to go for it all. Man, that was a night, early morning, and another night. I damn near skipped the whole day. I was throwing up so much. You ever throw so much where your throat start to burn every time? I'm laughing at this, y'all. It wasn't funny at the time, y'all, but I can laugh at it now, all right? One of my biggest lessons learned about drinking, man, and I still kept drinking after that, but it was just, I was in a little bit more control, right? But you can end up drinking yourself so much, bro, where your battle buddies, they just getting to know you, they rocking out with you. Well, we don't want nothing to happen to you. They got me up through my ass in the car. Barnes can attest to this. And threw my ass in the car, took me all the way back to where the barracks was, man. Them dudes threw me up in that mug, bro, and just let cold ass water just running. They was running back and forth getting this stuff. How do I know? Because I got a counseling. That was like one of my first counselors I got about drinking, you know what I mean? And it was just, it was a whole shit show. But I didn't stop drinking, so obviously I didn't learn my lesson. But I had a blast, man. Everybody had their little money. Everybody putting their little money together. And, had a blast, had some moments, had some fun. It was fun. I mean, not really responsible, not really healthy. It was a dangerous area. Alcohol poisoning is nothing to play with. But I had a blast. Sometimes you got to taste, you got to get a little taste, you got to see what the experience is like, and you kind of find out if it's for you or not. You know what I mean? At this time, I had no kids, no responsibilities, y'all. So bear with your brother. I had a blast though. I got some pictures and things that I'll show during this week, and you guys will see me up there. And I was oh God, I was hell on wheels. I ain't gonna lie, I was hell on wheels, man. Raleigh, I would say this. Fort Riley was probably one of the best, worst, amazing, wish I could do it all over again experiences I've ever had. That's about the best way I could put that. Best way I can put that, man. Jungle Juice. Yeah. And at the time, the Four Locos was like the new thing. And everybody, Four Locos like a big can of a drink, right? And they're really cheap. And also, liquid crack. I know everybody like, bro, what the hell is liquid crack? Steel Reserve, baby. Steel Reserve. Oh, I probably should do a special on drink. Even though I don't drink like that no more, but Steel Reserve. I had to stop drinking that. Steel Reserve is a fighting beverage. Every time I drank that, I was ready to fight something. Point of the drink, we finna fight something. That is an angry man's drink. That's a liquid crack. It's cheap, is readily available, and always down there somebody got some of it. You got to just saying. Had some good times, y'all. Had some good times, man. Had some good times, right? But my whole point of this, right? The whole point of this, right, is, oh, thank you, baby. Thank you. See, y'all getting my, thank you, love. You made sure I got my eggs. Y'all be thinking I'm playing. I really be on this, right? My day's getting back in line. It's good. Maybe I should start drinking again. Just saying. But I had some good times, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, well, you have any good times where you wasn't drunk? Let me think. Nah, I did have some good times. I had some good times. My first time going to the range. First time going to the range was a good time, man. That's when I first learned the term Kentucky windage. You know what I mean? Where everybody think they a shooter until they get on the range, missing targets left and right. Don't worry. A lot of people was like that. You know what I mean? You had some people that were expert shooters. You had some sharp shooters. Then you had some, you had them ones that would make us be at the range all day, all night. This is what I would call a field disaster. When I tell y'all a field disaster, this is a real field day disaster. When you get individuals that are from the country that are used to shooting a certain way, they're used to doing their own shooting the cans down range way, right? And when you get out there to the actual military ranges, all that country bunking shooting does not count. There's a certain way they want to train you on how to shoot targets, on how to shoot range, how to control your breathing, how to control your trigger squeeze. You know what I mean? Your positioning from the prone supported, unsupported. All these things matter, but you would have them ones that will make the range, that will make the range day go on and on and on, because they would not conform to the way the military wanted them to be trained. And listen, we all had, now I'm gonna say we all, most of us got our experience with a rifle the first time when we were 15, 16, maybe even younger than that, right? Especially in Texas, because everybody carrying something out here, right? But those days at the ranges would be so long because people wouldn't get right. You couldn't finish. You couldn't get off the range until everybody qualified, and that shit used to. Oh, that used to suck. That used to suck. Then you would have to do the police call. After that, you got to pick up all the brass.
Hi, Dad.
Hey, what's up, man? All the brass after everybody has shot, and especially if it was on ammo detail because now you got to count rounds. Oh God. But this is why I say, this is why I say this whole week is gonna be amazing. We just kicking off. I'm just barely getting my little energy up right now for the rest of this week. But when I say I got some videos to share, I got some videos to share, got some stories to share. I got some people that have was down there with me that got to have their own experiences, man. Especially when I talk about the grenades. Now, everybody got a grenade story. Everybody got a grenade story when you're doing training on the grenades, especially when it comes to your first time having to go through the gas chamber. That is some hilarious shit. For those that may watch this later on and have been in some trouble, you probably already been maced before. So you may get a little taste of that. But when it comes to the gas and you got to walk through, so the way they did us is you have your mask on your hip. The mask is not already on you. You have your mask on your hip and they have you all lined up in a room. You got your arms out, right? And you're walking in and you walk in this big chamber and it's all sealed off. And then obviously, drill sergeant's already got his stuff on. And they pull a gas can, throw it down. Another one goes off. Another one goes off. Now, this thing is filling up glass. So, in that time, you have to literally get your mask, hopefully pay attention to the training, get your mask off, put your mask on, seal it, seal the mask, and then pull all those straps as tight as you can, you know what I mean, to where you're sealed. But you gotta take the mask off though, so it burns, and you're not able to. Everybody feel like they're badass until they do this shit, and you have to literally Soldier's Creed. They do this whole Soldier's Creed, and then you get the opportunity to go out. But when you go out, man, they want you to have your arms out, hands out, not rubbing your face. It's gonna make it worse. It's really gonna make it worse. Water don't really help neither, and you just gotta really wait till the stuff fades off. But once they fade off of you and you back to all right, and you just watching everybody else, that shit is the funniest shit ever. Fuck, bro, basic. Those fools, the turkey wing, yeah, chicken. Almost blew. Yeah, man. Yeah, when it comes to grenades, like that's why I say the movies this whole week. We're gonna talk about some of the movies. We're gonna compare some of the movies, but the movies be lying to y'all. When y'all be seeing these people bite the grenade and they just throwing a grenade like a football, it don't it don't work that way, bro. You have to get tossed on the ground so fast, which I witnessed that happen a few times. Some people throw a grenade right in front. Now there's a big concrete barrier, guys. There's a big concrete barrier. Well, for the most part, it's there, and you're not supposed to watch the grenade go over and see where it lands. Now, I never really quite understood that, but I get the safety behind this, right? Because you're dealing with live explosives. At the same time, when you first go through it, you're just getting to learn how to throw the stuff, right? Then they give you a little flashbang thing. Then you get the live grenade joint. So I think everybody wanted to see what would happen because we watch so many movies. You just want to see what happened in real life. While I'm throwing it, man, their job is to toss your ass on the ground once you throw the grenade. So the movies always show you people, and they throwing it, and you know what I mean, and they watching where it goes. No, hell no. You throw it and you throw your body on the ground and put your head down. Some people really ain't got a Brett Favre arm. Some people ain't got the Brady arm. No. So many people got, what, like bro said, these goddamn chicken wings. They throwing that shit right in front. You know what I mean? But all in all, laughs, funny times, great experiences, y'all. I'm just saying, just had some good times. Had good times, man. And I got stuff queued up for this week, man. I got some good stuff for me. Said, good morning. I'm working on getting my pictures and stuff in. I will be in touch with you. I'm looking forward to working with you on the video. Okay, bet. As a client. All right, but yeah, I got to, my bad, y'all. Work come up. Got tap in. But yeah, like I was saying, guys, good times, man. Good times. We gonna go through a lot of these things, a lot of these scenarios. I really got them queued up the right way. That's why I got the little horn thing ready, and I got some other military sounds that we were going through the rest of this week. But Angel has sent me another blog joint, and let's see what we talking about. Oh, okay, this is the pause one. I saw this earlier, so we're gonna run through this one, and then do what we do, like we supposed to. But yeah, I got a message from Miss Tawana Fields Angel that we need to tap in with later on. Boom. Bam. Let's go. Everyone think they Rambo. I swear they do. I swear. Yeah, especially when, and bro, you carry shit. You carry the saw. That motherfucker heavy than the bitch. Right? Especially when it came to shooting the Madus. Like, and I'll have images later on for the people that never served. I have images of these weapons when we start talking about this stuff later on. So y'all can get a kind of look at what this stuff's like. I know y'all seen the old, this is Raw True Novels. Make sure you guys tap in rawtruenovels.org. But I know you guys have seen the old video, the old Predator movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And Arnold Schwarzenegger, and there's that one soldier that's got the big models. He's over there just laying waste to the goddamn. Listen, man, them things is heavy. But we'll talk about that later, man. Let's get into this, man. I told you I was going to read 2 of these things, and that's what I'm going to do. All right, pause. Let the phone ring. Let the text wait. Let your soul breathe. I have mastered that. Best believe, right? Your peace is more important than their emergency. Let's go. Choose me, protect my peace, my health first. No is a full sentence. I am enough. Angel Williams says, sometimes you just have to stop. Not a quick breath before you jump back into the fire. Not a 2-minute breather where you're still clutching on your phone, waiting for the next crisis to drop into your lap. A real hard, uncompromising stop. Yeah, man, I've mastered, man, listen, all right. You have to pull off the shoulder of your own life. Turn off the engine and sit in the quiet. We talked about that earlier on the other blog, because if we are being completely honest with each other, I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And yes, we do get there. I was exhausted down to the marrow in my bones. Y'all, some of y'all eat the marrow in the bones. Some of y'all eat all the way through the damn bone. Yeah. If y'all know what I'm talking about, yeah, I'll be eating that little southern thing right there. I'm throwing some salt on my egg, y'all. All right. It wasn't just a physical tired that a good night's sleep could fix. It was a heavy, soul deep fatigue. The kind of exhaustion where you wake up in the morning and your heart already feels like leading before your feet even touch the floor. I had become a ghost in my own body, walking around smiling, making sure everyone else was fed, comforted, supported, and held while I was completely starving inside. Yeah, man. Stop answering the phone. I'll do that very well. Stop replying to every text the second it lights up on your screen. Stop saying yes
when every single bone, muscle, and nerve in your body is screaming no. We do it because we've been conditioned to believe that being endlessly available to everyone else is proof that we are good people. Yep, I was guilty of that at one point of time. We treat our energy like an open bank account with no limit, letting people make withdrawals after withdrawals until we're standing in the cold with an overdraft fee on our spirit bar. And let me ask you something, because I had to ask myself this in the mirror. Where are those same people when your world is falling apart? They are non-existent. And sometimes we got pride and we won't tell nobody nothing, and we just handle it and deal with it ourselves, right? I know that wasn't part of the blog. I was just adding in there, guys. Isn't it crazy how months can go by without hearing a single word from someone? Not a quick text to see if you're breathing, not a how is your heart doing today? Nothing. Radio silence. Then one day, ring, ring. Hey, I need you. Can you? Will you? For years, my knees jerk answering. Always yes. My knee over here shaking right now. Even when I was running on zero, kind of doing that now. Even when I was weeping in the car before walking into the house. I've done that a million of times. Even when I desperately needed somebody, anybody to just look at me and ask if I was okay. I buried my own pain just to pick up their baggage. Yep. Not anymore. Today? Hell no. No. Not mine. No, sir. I am closed for business, not because I'm cold, not because I've grown meticulous, but because if helping you requires me to destroy myself, the answer is no. I have mastered that. Matter of fact, I am a master of the word no. Yes, the view from a hospital bed, constantly saying yes doesn't just make you tired, it drains your spirit until there is nothing left of you to love. Your energy vanishes, your genuine smile turns into a forced mask you put on for the public. The goals, the dreams, the fire you used to have inside you, it all gets smothered under the weight of everybody else's emergency. I didn't learn this lesson from a self-help book. I learned it the hard way. I lived it. Man, do you hear what a hello? I kept dragging myself forward, ignoring every warning sign my spirit was giving me, trying to be the hero for everybody else until my body physically rebelled. It didn't ask for my permission anymore. It just shut down. I ended up in the hospital bed. And do you know what? Oh, wait. Yeah, I know what she's talking about now. And do you know what to know? The most heartbreaking part? I was lying in that hospital room, shook up, hooked up to the monitors, completely broken down, and I still checked my phone trying to solve other people's problems. Yeah, you was. I was on the verge of losing my physical life, and I still prioritized their convenience over my survival. That was the moment the veil ripped away. Those four white walls can reveal a burden. A burden, not a burial, a burden. Liberating the truth. If you were to die right here in that bed, life would keep moving. Yes, it will. The sun will still rise tomorrow. The bills were still going to come. The world wasn't going to pause for a single second to mourn the girl who gave everything away. And those exact same people who were blowing up my phone every hour with their latest drama, they wouldn't sit. Listen, you got down right, they wouldn't. They would simply scroll down their contact list, find the next person willing to bleed them, and push dial. He's goddamn right they would. I swear to God. That realization didn't make me bitter. I'm bitter. I'm a cold some bitch. It set me free. It woke me up to reality. I am replaceable in everybody else's emergency, but I am completely irreplaceable in my own life. The edge of the cliff. We have to stop pretending that overextending ourselves is harmless. It is dangerous. When you spend your whole life saying yes to others and no to yourself, you don't just get burnt out, you get pushed to the edge. Don't overwhelm yourself into a visit to the hospital, a visit to the psych ward. Won't be talking about me. A visit to the brand, to the bridge, or a visit to the graveyard just to keep people comfortable who wouldn't even bring you a glass of water if you were on fire. Every phone call does not deserve an answer. Every text does not require a fast response. Every favor does not get a pass. Every family obligation does not mean you sacrifice your sanity. Sometimes silence isn't rude, it's recovery. Sometimes shutting the door isn't mean, it is protection. Sometimes no isn't selfish, it's survival. Reclaiming the breath. So right now, I'm adding salt to my stuff, y'all. Right now, wherever you are reading this, pause. I'm pausing, putting salt on my egg. Bam, bam, bam. Put the phone down, close your eyes, take a deep, real breath, and my bad, I'm smacking in your ear. The kind you haven't allowed yourself to take in months. Sit in the quiet and listen to the voice inside you that you've been drowning out for years. If keeping someone else happy keeps costing you your peace, your mental health, and your dignity, the answer simply is no. No detailed explanation, no soft excuses, no lingering guilt, no apology, just no. Because peace is the most expensive thing you will ever own. And I am done letting people take mine for free. You goddamn right, girl. Shit. I already went over my goddamn hour, but I had to read that one. She was talking about herself though. But we damn near one and the same, right? And I wanted to show this too. That's the message that we got. Boom, boom, boom. Gonzo sent me some things. I want to show y'all the video they sent me, which is dope. Which is dope as hell. Check this out, guys. Where'd my video go? There it goes. Let's make that thing big.
Check out this fucking spot, bro. So this is at the entrance or the beginning of the trail, the hike.
Look at this though.
But
come on, man.
Perfect hammock position on the return.
I'm coming.
Check out this fucking spot, bro.
That's just dope as hell. Y'all see that?
So this is at the entrance or the beginning of the trail, the hike.
Come on, man.
But perfect hammock
come on, man.
position.
Come on.
Return.
Come on. That's what I'm talking about. Beautiful. Have to play it 3 times. That shit is amazing. That shit is fucking amazing. Do y'all hear me? Y'all just don't understand, man. Y'all don't get what I be talking about when I say having a literal escape from the chaos, man. Sheesh. Jeez, y'all. I'm gonna watch a movie with Angel, y'all. She knows she done seen me. I take these shades off. Y'all gonna see, man. I am drained of all days right now. But listen, that shit is amazing out there, bro. That shit looks fucking amazing. Maybe Angel and I can come out there and have a little break, man. And if she don't want to come, hell, I'll come out that mug, bro. You know, school's starting with the kids, but I'm definitely down. That is amazing. I have to drive a little bit to go down the way to get to see something like that, but awesome. Fucking awesome. Guys, it's been an amazing show, man. We got stuff coming up this week. Make sure you guys tap in with Jim, IT Publishing, man. Here's the shows that we got coming up. Today, we already went over Barrack Lights and Laughs, gave y'all a little thing about what I went through and a few stories in there. But tomorrow, Hurry Up and Wait is going to be a big one, man. That is something that'll teach you about patience. Wednesday, Hump Day, we'll be going over PT gone wrong, the ABCs to PT. Thursday, we'll go over Military Myths Exposed. That's when I'll share some of the movies that I'm talking about. We'll break down some of these movies, military movies that'd be lying to y'all. And then Friday, we'll go over the Weekend Warriors and Tales. And y'all know what we do Saturday and Sunday. Go over current events, and we give y'all the movie of the week, man. You know, me and Angel are advocate movie watchers, man. So make sure you guys tap in with that. Also, you can check out the EPK kit. You can go to the YouTube, right? The YouTube channel. You go to the YouTube channel now, and right up under my YouTube channel link, there are two links. There's a Facebook link, and right up under that, there's that electronic press kit that Big G made. So you guys can tap in there and kick all the vibes and all that type of stuff. But I'm finna get over here and chill with Angel and do what we do and kind of press the reset button, get some energy back. So you guys stay amazing. It's your boy Inside. And listen, with that being said, guys, enjoy yourselves today. Enjoy yourselves, man. Give yourself a pat on the back. I'm one of the ones, y'all, that, whew, I need my energy, you know. And, you know, it's so bad. Angel can tell right off bat. She could tell right off bat that I was not. Hell, I let you know what's so funny? Today, I ain't do a full walk today. Just being honest, I didn't. But I did walk. I didn't do like a full long one, but I did do a little walk. But it's up. It's your boy Inside. Let's get it.
No, this is not a dream. You're in the world of Inside Speaks. We're inspiring you to find happiness in your world. Guess what? We outside with it. We like to hammock camp, bike, as well as ruck. That's right. I'm an Army veteran. I served 2 tours, man, with some great individuals, man. We had our ups, we had our downs, just like you go through in life. But I tell you what, I'm going to share some of them stories with you on this.
Stop what you're doing right now and go subscribe to Boss Talk Podcast 101 Primetime on YouTube, all social media platforms. Boss Talk Podcast 101 Primetime. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to make sure you tap in. Right now, over 72,000 subscribers and well over 11 million views and watch time hours. So make sure that you continue to support, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, and keep tapping in with us because we're going to keep on bringing you this hot content every day and in every way. It's your main man, Big G. And make sure, like I said, stop what you're doing right now and tap in. Like, share, subscribe. Boss Talk Podcast 101 Primetime.